If you're worried about results day coming up and have no idea what to expect and how to go through clearing, then this is the video for you. What is going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video. In this one, I'm going to be talking about how to get through clearing and what to expect on results day. This video is going to be divided into two parts. In the first part, I'm going to be talking about how to actually get through clearing and the actual logistics of it, what to do, who to call, how it works, and then most of the video is just going to be me giving my best tips, because there's a lot of videos out there that discuss what to do on clearing, but there's not many out there how to make the best decisions for yourself. Okay, I went through clearing about 4 years ago now, and it was probably the worst few weeks of my life. So you've been put into clearing, basically you didn't get the grades, and now UCAS tells you that you've been put into clearing. And what that basically means is that you're in a portal where you see a bunch of choices on UCAS and a bunch of courses and a bunch of universities, and your job is basically just to riff through all the things that you see and just pick one. That sounds so much easier than it actually is. But basically, once you're satisfied and you like a course, then you basically just have to firm it. But you can't just directly go onto UCAS track and just pick that subject at university. You have to go through the university and you have to call up the university. So essentially what you do is you just go on their website and you just see their number. It could be under clearing, it could be just admissions team, but basically you have to just call them up, and they're going to be asking you loads of details such as your UCAS ID, the results you got. So just a quick tip, just have these things ready, because the entire day, every single university you call up, you're going to be having the exact same conversation. So just have it ready. So they're going to be guiding you. They're going to be leading the conversation. So from what I remember, it is very self-explanatory. Once you call up the university, they're going to ask you for the details. They're going to tell you about the course. They might talk a bit about other courses that they're offering and what the course entails, and if you're basically eligible. They're going to just be asking you the questions and you just have to provide the answers. There's not really much that goes on in this conversation. The main thing that you need to be focusing on the day is what course and what university. That is the main thing. Everything else kind of is just a process that's provided by them and you just have to follow. Once they've basically just given you the green light that you're eligible for the course, on UCAS track it will say you can just firm it. They'll tell you, and you just it basically says clearing choice, firm offer, and that's basically what clearing is in a nutshell. There's not really much to it other than that. Now I'm actually going to be giving tips and talking a bit about my experience. Tip number 1 starts before results day. You've got to spend the summer just a few days here and there just seeing what course you actually would like to do in case things don't go wrong. You know, even if you're a freaking genius and you think you've smashed your A-levels, still, you've got to think of a backup. Always prepare for the worst. You never know what's going to happen. You never know if you might not even make it into your insurance, which is what happened with me. I thought at least I'll make it into my insurance, at least. It was AAB and I got ABB and I was put into clearing. So just make sure that you're familiar with the clearing choices and just have an idea of what you would like to do and what course and university. Just be familiar with the process. Watch videos like these, essentially, just to get you ready for results day. Tip number 2 is don't rush. And this is a tip that I would actually like to highlight a lot, because before results day, you have this thought that when you're in clearing, it's going to be just a race essentially to who gets there first, and I need to just be calling up loads of universities. And to some extent that may be true, but you don't actually need to rush. You don't actually need to think like that. You actually have a lot more time than you think. I remember when I went through clearing, originally I thought, oh my god, I'm going to have to call up all these universities and just race against everyone else. But realistically, what happens on the days when you get put into clearing, you're going to be upset, okay? You're going to be really sad, and that's the bottom line. And if you haven't met the grades, you're going to have all these emotions. you're going to be thinking about so many decisions, whether to resit, take a gap year, remark. Don't rush into clearing. Don't think, oh, I didn't get a university offer, so I just need to pick the best thing out there, the first thing I see. No, that's not how you have to be thinking. You still can get clearing spots even 2-3 weeks after. Keep checking. You never know what's going to come up on the clearing website. So just keep on refreshing the page. You never know what's going to be available. Tip number 3. This is kind of a straightforward tip, but it's still so hard to follow, and that is be calm. Because at the end of the day, you're making really important decisions. You have to stay calm. You can't have that nervous energy that is results day. You're seeing people post on Instagram and Facebook that they've got into their firm choice and everyone's excited and happy, and here you are in clearing. You're gonna be going through emotions. Just remember, when you're making decisions, you've got to stay calm. Otherwise, you're going to be making the wrong decision, and it's going to impact the next 3 to 4 years of your life. I'm not trying to scare you, but that is the reality of it. Tip number 4, and this tip kind of comes from a place of experience and wisdom, having gone through a whole university degree and going into my second degree. That tip is, university matters, not course. And this may be controversial when you first hear this tip, but I'm going to explain it now. Pick the university first. When you're in clearing, it's so important to pick the university. You're going to be spending 3 years at this university, and let me tell you one thing: when you graduate, the last thing you're going to think of is, oh my god, my course was amazing. Like, oh, I fell in love with my course. I love the modules. That is not what you're going to be thinking. You're going to be thinking about the experiences at the university, the people you met, and what you went through. The degree itself is actually so minor. And people always think, oh, I need to do this module, and this university provides this course. Oh, I want to do biological sciences, not natural sciences or English literature, and this. These things are so minor. When you get to university, there's going to be so many overlapping modules. You're going to be picking and choosing modules you like anyway. Similar courses here and there, it really does not matter. Just pick the university. For me, I picked Warwick because I knew Warwick was it was a top university, and the fact that I was getting offered to clearing, that was actually just a blessing, to be honest. The fact that Warwick was in clearing, such a top university. So, and I knew that the social life was going to be fine, and I knew that the job prospects after were also going to be fine. Tip number 5 is to do with the course now. So when you are picking course, it's really important that you pick a course that you've actually done at A-level. You don't want to be switching fields and going into something that you've never even done before. I see this happen from time after time, and to be honest, it leads to people dropping out university and just changing course because they just can't hack it. It's really important that you look at your A-level grades and you pick a subject that you're familiar with and it's similar to stuff that you've done before. Because at the end of the day, if you're getting offered to do clearing and your grades meet that university's offer, then that means you're eligible to do the course there. That means you're capable enough. So think about it that way. Don't just jump ship and think, oh, I'm going to do economics because economics is what everyone does and I've never done it before, but I can do it. Don't think like that. If you're doing biology, if you're doing chemistry, if you're doing maths, if you're doing anything, just kind of stick to those subjects. For me, I did biochemistry because that's all I knew. Tip number 6, and this is a tip that I remember happening, and I think it was quite decent. I remember I did call a bunch of universities, and I called up King's College, and I got into biomedical engineering. But I remember they reserved the spot for me. They kind of just had it on hold. So just ask the university if they can do that. Because I remember that giving me some sort of safety net that, okay, I've got a place at King's, a good university, and then I can just explore my options after. So kind of have good places that look good at first on hold. Ask if they can do that, or there's something like that. Because I remember something like that happening with me. Something sort of holding a place. They definitely held the place, but I don't know what it was called or what they actually physically did. This is not really a major tip, but it is something just to be wary of. When you call up the big universities, be expected to wait I remember when I called up King's, it was like an hour wait because everyone wanted to go to King's that year. And just be prepared for that. Another thing I did do was, and this may or may not work, but when you're in this situation, you kind of just have to shoot all your shots and see what happens, because you never know. But I remember LSC and UCL, some universities don't really advertise clearing, but it is still worth a shot, because I remember some people did get into UCL just through the back door, but I'm not sure if they got the grades or they didn't. But just call up the university, even if they're not even on clearing. You never know. Final thoughts on the whole process is that no matter what decision you make, as long as you're happy with the decision, it doesn't really matter. If you just want to go to university because all your friends are going to and you think you're going to miss out, and that's making you happy, then by all means just do it. Think about what's right for you. If taking a gap year is right for you, then take that decision. Just make sure you're discussing with teachers and family and friends, and just make sure you have a good support network, because it is a really important decision, clearing. You don't want to just make the wrong decision, because it can go south very, very quickly. And just final thoughts on my own experience, I remember it being a really terrible experience. It lasted about 2 weeks, and trust me, it will get better. Things will just work out. Don't worry, just kind of just go with the flow and just see what happens, and I'm sure everything will be fine. And check out other websites and other videos just so you're prepared and know exactly what to do. And that is it, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Hopefully you've gained some information and you're completely ready for clearing, and you're completely ready for results day, and just good luck. And if you are watching this and you are in a position where you are in clearing, then do not worry, everything will work out, because I went through it and it was so terrible, and here I am, I'm studying medicine. At the end of it, it will be looking up, trust me.